"Luna, your sister is pregnant. Please let Mike be with her." After my mom said that, I was not the least bit surprised. I just felt disgusted, really, truly disgusted. I flipped the dining table and walked out of the house without looking back. Can anyone really love someone else's daughter more than their own? The answer is yes. I'm Luna, an ordinary factory worker, and my parents are just like any average family. I make a decent salary, the house is not huge or extravagant, but we're not starving either. I had a relatively happy childhood, but all of that ended abruptly when I was 14, the year my mom brought Mia home. "Luna," my mom said, eyes red, "your aunt and uncle have been missing for 5 days. We couldn't find them even after calling the police. Mia will stay with us for now." Mia was sobbing beside her. "Aunt, if I didn't have no other choice, I wouldn't have called you. Honestly, I didn't want Mia to stay here, but I couldn't say it, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter. I didn't like Mia because she liked to take everything from me. Every time my aunt brought Mia to our house, Mia would stare at my things, everything from my clothes and Barbie dolls to my piano. Every time Mia would look at my mom with pity in her eyes and say, 'Luna is so lucky. I might never have these things in my life.' My aunt and uncle worked at a factory and they couldn't afford those things. But my mom couldn't stand seeing that, and every time she'd hold Mia with a pitiful look and say, 'Silly child, you and Luna are sisters. Whatever Luna has is yours too. When you want something, just take it.' Yes, Mia could take anything of mine as long as it made her happy, and no one would ask for my opinion. Every time I felt dissatisfied, my mom would get angry. 'Mia's mom is my sister, and Mia is your sister. Can't you stop being so petty?' At first I cried every time Mia took something of mine, but later I just became quiet, and eventually, I was indifferent. What was even more ridiculous was that my mom would rub my head and say, 'Luna has grown up and learned to care for her sister.' Aunt, where will I sleep tonight? I'm in high school now, and I have to study late every day. I'm afraid living with Luna will disturb her sleep." My mom had no intention of having a second child, so when we bought the house, we got a 2-bedroom, 2-living room layout. The only bedrooms were for my parents and me. "If you don't want to sleep with me, then you can sleep on the balcony," I interrupted. Upon hearing this, Mia's tears immediately fell, and she looked at my mom helplessly. My mom couldn't stand it. "All right, Mia, don't cry. You can stay in Luna's room, and Luna will move to the balcony." I couldn't believe it. I had to give up my space again. "Why?" "All right." My mom rubbed her temples, looking tired. "Mia has already suffered enough. Can't you understand?" In the end, my mom moved my things to the balcony without considering my objections. When my dad came home and saw my things moved to the balcony, he just asked my mom a token question and then didn't say another word. After Mia came to stay at our house, my mom's favoritism toward her was obvious in everything. At the dinner table, Mia always got the food she liked, and what she liked was exactly what I hated. Mia always wore brand, name clothes from the mall, while I wore discounted stuff from street markets. I protested more than once, but my mom would always say, "Mia has already suffered enough. Can't you understand? Can't we look at other options?" Mia's living expenses abroad are too high. My mom hesitated to speak. I wasn't surprised at all. How much is Mia's monthly living expenses? "More than 10,000, my mom replied. I couldn't help but laugh. "I see. I won't ask you for money." My mom sighed with relief, then cautiously looked at me. "Do you blame me?" I shook my head. No. I really didn't blame her. But from then on, she was just my biological mother, and that was all. My mom kept going on and on. "Your sister's parents are not around. She's so pitiful. I have to take care of her. You're different. Your parents are still with you. You should understand." In the end, I paid the tuition and materials fee from my own pocket. To save money, I ate steamed buns and water for every meal. After a week of this, my classmate Mike brought me a lunchbox with 4 dishes and rice, all beautifully prepared. The ridiculous pride I had made me refuse at first. "It's not free," Mike scratched his head. "Can you help me with my studies? My mom is mad at me for my bad grades. If you help me, I'll bring you lunch every day. Is that okay?" Mike looked at me with sincere eyes. I couldn't say no to him, whether it was his eyes or the lunch. I agreed. As I ate Mike's lunch, I couldn't help but cry. The tears mixed with the food I swallowed. It had been so long since anyone cared about me. It felt good. Too bad it wasn't my parents who cared, but a desk mate who wasn't even that close to me. Thanks to Mike's help, my life in high school wasn't bad. During the winter and summer vacations, I worked part-time jobs to pay for my various fees. Of course, I didn't let Mike feed me for nothing. I helped him improve his grades, and every time I ranked first in the grade, while Mike was second. Just before the college entrance exam, I promised Mike I'd meet him at Tsinghua University. I'll never forget that evening when the sunset was like fire and Mike and I stood on the playground. Mike said, "Luna, we'll meet at the peak." The naive promises we made as teenagers. We'll meet at the top. It was so beautiful, like a painting. When it was time to fill out my college application, I only applied to Tsinghua. 1. Because I was confident in my abilities, and 2. Because of my promise with Mike. I didn't even consider any other school, but on the day the admission letter came, I was stunned. I received an acceptance letter from Shanghai Fuda University, but I didn't apply to Fuda. In an instant, I realized my application had been tampered with, and the only person who could change my application was my mom. I was shaking with anger. Why? I asked my mom, trembling, tears in my eyes. When my mom saw my acceptance letter, her face turned pale. Her lips trembled as she called my name, Luna. Why? I wiped my tears forcefully. Why did you change my application? Why did you destroy my future? Luna, my mom's eyes turned red. I really had no choice. Your sister is spending too much abroad. We can't afford another 2 years of living expenses. One of your classmates said that if I changed your school and didn't let you go to Beijing, they'd give me 500,000. Luna, I really had no choice. I found out that Fuda is also good. I applied for the same major as Tsinghua. Mom! I screamed. You're my real mother. I won't blame you for not supporting me, but why did you take away my future? I had no choice, my mom murmured. Your sister is so pitiful. I couldn't let her not finish her education. I just changed your school. It won't ruin your life. It won't ruin your future. My mom kept repeating, but I didn't know if she was trying to convince me or herself. I didn't ask where the 500,000 came from. I already knew it was from Mike's mother, Red. That evening, when my parents were both home, and the table was full of my favorite food, my mom looked at me expectantly. Luna, I remember these are your favorite dishes. Try them. I glanced at the array of food on the table, but didn't touch a single bite. When I wanted to eat them, you never made them for me. Now that I don't want them, don't waste your effort. Since high school, you haven't cared about me. I've been paying for my own tuition and fees. You never asked me to come back and eat with you, my mom muttered weakly. Come back? Come back and sleep on the balcony or eat my least favorite food. I took a deep breath. You gave me life, and when I was young, you were good to me. I'm grateful for that. This time, I'll pay you back for the 500,000 you took from my future. Of course, I won't avoid my duty to take care of you in the future. But let's not keep in touch if there's nothing between us. What kind of talk is that? My mom asked, eyes red, and even my dad, usually so composed, had red eyes. Are you trying to sever ties with us? Do you no longer want us to care for you? Caring for me? I sneered. Just because I won't starve doesn't mean you're caring for me. If you really want to take care of me, fine. Then you can support me through college and give me 10,000 yuan a month for living expenses while I'm in Shanghai. My mom shrank back, her eyes evasive. You don't need that much for living expenses, don't I? I countered. Shanghai's cost of living isn't lower than abroad, and Mia's living expenses are more than 10,000 a month, right? Why should I be treated any differently than her? Luna, I've told you Mia is your sister. She's so pitiful. Why do you have to compare everything with her? Pitiful? MAAM. Can you at least have some self-reflection when you say that? Between me and her, who's more pitiful? A slap landed on my face. My mom looked at me in a panic. Luna, I didn't mean to hit you. Why can't you understand me? I stood up and stormed out the door. In the end, I resigned myself to going to Fuda University. I thought that after this I'd be far from Mike, and we would never meet again. But I never expected to see Mike at Fuda University on October 1st. Luna, Mike said, his eyes red, his stubble messy. After I filled out my application, I couldn't find you. I didn't see you at Tsinghua either. I asked a lot of people and finally found out you came to Fuda. Luna, can you stop rejecting me? I didn't cry when I ran away from home, and I didn't cry when my mom slapped me. But now, after hearing Mike's words, I cried uncontrollably. From then on, Mike would come to Fuda to visit me every weekend. The distance between Beijing and Shanghai wasn't close, but I couldn't bear to let Mike travel so frequently. He snuggled up to me, his eyes moist as he looked at me. "Luna, what should I do? I miss you." Unable to refuse, I agreed to Mike's persistence. Since I was majoring in Chinese literature in college, I started submitting my works to various websites during my free time. Though they didn't become wildly popular, it was enough to cover my daily expenses. During the winter break, I received a call from my mom. "Luna." I was surprised to hear from her. First, I didn't expect her to call me. Second, she didn't even know my phone number. "What's up?" I asked in a neutral tone. "Luna, the new year is coming. Are you coming home?" "No," I replied truthfully. "I need to work part-time to save for next semester's living expenses, and I also need to save money to pay off my student loan. I don't have time to come back." "Luna," my mom's voice cracked with emotion. "Your sister and you aren't coming back, and everyone else's family is celebrating together. Then tell her to come back. She doesn't have to worry about making a living," I deliberately said with sharp words, trying to provoke my mom. There was a long silence on the other end. "Luna, if you're struggling with life, forget it, Luna. Just take care of yourself out there." After hanging up, I sat there dazed for a while, feeling bitter. What was I still expecting from her? In my senior year, a palace novel I had written suddenly became a hit, and even the TV rights were bought. With that, I earned a decent sum of money. I first paid off my student loan, then bought an apartment in cash back home. Mike was so happy, hugging me and saying, "My Luna is amazing." After graduation, Mike introduced me to his parents. They were both kind and understanding. I told them honestly about my family situation and they didn't look down on me. In fact, they promised to treat me even better from then on. As the new year approached, I was working on revising a script for a historical drama when I received a call from my mom. I was somewhat dazed and absent-mindedly pressed the answer button. "Luna," my mom's voice sounded happy. "Luna, your sister is back. Can you come home for a meal with us?" I was about to refuse, but then I thought of Mike. Even though Mike hadn't said anything, I knew he wanted to meet my parents. "Okay," I reluctantly agreed. My mom's voice sounded joyful. "Then I'll wait for you at home." Listening to my mom's cheerful tone, I felt a strange confusion. It almost felt like she loved me. When I took Mike home, Mike insisted on bringing several boxes of expensive nutritional products. Mia looked at Mike with shining eyes. Mia shyly extended her hand to Mike. "Hello, I'm Luna's sister. I've been studying abroad, so Luna might not have mentioned me much." Out of politeness, Mike reluctantly extended his right hand. "Hello, I'm Mike, Luna's boyfriend." My mom, bustling around to get us seated, muttered, "It's good that you're back. Why are you bringing so many things?" During dinner, Mia kept adding food to Mike's bowl, one piece at a time. Mike looked helplessly at me with a face full of frustration. I pushed Mike's bowl of food toward Mia. Coldly, I said, "My boyfriend doesn't like food that other girls have served him. You should stop." Mia looked at my mom with puppy eyes. "Aunt, I was just trying to be nice." My mom couldn't stand this and, with a frown, was about to scold me. It was only when my dad slammed the table and shot a glare at her that the scene came to an end. After dinner, my dad insisted on taking Mike out for a walk. I originally planned to just introduce them briefly and leave, so I wasn't eager. But Mike gave me a reassuring look. In the end, my dad got his wish and took Mike out, while I stayed home to help my mom clean up the table. "Luna, Mike's family is doing well, right?" my mom cautiously asked. "Not bad," I replied. Mike's dad runs a company, and his mom owns a high-end cosmetics shop, so their family situation was far better than not bad, but I didn't want to explain it in detail to my mom. "Luna, your college is quite good. Your future is limitless. Can you let Mike go for your sister?" For a moment, I thought I misheard. My hands paused as I was cleaning up the table, and I shot a sharp look at my mom. "What did you just say?" "I didn't hear you clearly." Maybe my gaze was too intense because my mom shrank back, remaining silent for a long while. It was Mia who anxiously called out "Aunt" and pulled my mom back to reality. "Luna, your sister is pregnant. Please let her have Mike." "Hey!" I flipped the dining table, and both my mom and Mia screamed in shock. I've always wanted to ask you, am I really your biological child? My mom, still shaken, held her chest. What kind of talk is this? I carried you for 10 months. Of course, you're my daughter. Then why, from childhood until now, do I always have to give in to her? I pointed at Mia, who was in the corner looking shocked. She's your sister. She's too pitiful, Luna. It's not that I don't love you. I just feel sorry for her, my mom explained, her voice softening. Her pitifulness is my fault? I couldn't take it anymore and yelled, did I kill her parents? Why have you been emotionally blackmailing me with her pity all these years? You two disgust me. What? What did you just say? My mom trembled, unable to believe my words. I said you disgust me. I glared at my mom, word by word. What does Mia's pregnancy have to do with me? What does it have to do with my boyfriend? Is Mike the one who got her pregnant? Just because your brain isn't working right doesn't mean everyone else has to go crazy with you. No, my mom shook her head frantically, trying to explain, Luna, I just think you will meet someone better. Letting Mike go to your sister won't be a problem. I didn't respond to my mom. I walked directly over to the shivering Mia and slapped her across the face. Mia covered her cheek and looked at me with pitiful eyes. How? After pretending to be pitiful so many times you can't even fight back? Don't think I don't know whose idea this is. Reading my dad's lengthy message, I felt a complicated mix of emotions. In my memory, my dad had always been controlled by my mom. He would never dare to disobey her. When I needed him, he never asked how I was, but now that I didn't need him, he suddenly showed up to make his presence known. I turned off the chat. I didn't reply to my dad's WeChat and I didn't accept the money. I just hoped that in the future, neither of them would disturb me. 2 months later, my mom called me from a strange number. As soon as I picked up, she started crying. Luna, come to the People's Hospital. Your dad is in critical condition. I really didn't want to go, but thinking about the 100,000 yuan my dad had transferred to me, I decided to go. When I arrived at the hospital, there was a crowd of people. Besides my dad, who was gasping for breath in his hospital bed, my mom crying, and Mia with a large belly, there were also my aunt and uncle, whom I hadn't seen for a long time. My aunt smiled brightly when she saw me. Is this Luna? Look at how big you've gotten. I frowned and ignored her, walking straight to my dad's bed. What happened? My dad gasped and shakily pointed at my mom. Divorce. I want to divorce her. I frowned. My dad had always listened to my mom. Over the years, he had worked tirelessly, but when it came to my mom's sister's daughter, he never said anything about the money she spent. How could this be about divorce? What happened? I asked. My mom remained silent, trembling. My aunt came up to me with a smile. Mia's pregnant and her boyfriend's family wants a dowry house. We were thinking of selling our current house and buying a new one, so the whole family can live together. But my husband didn't agree and passed out in anger. Although my parents' house was old, it was in a prime location in the city center, so selling it for a good price wouldn't be an issue. My dad glared at them, his eyes wide in anger. All these years, everything has been given to your daughter. This house belongs to my daughter, so no one has the right to touch it. I motioned for my dad to be quiet, then turned to my mom. You agreed to this. Double quotes, my mom weakly said. You have your own abilities. Your boyfriend's family is rich. You don't need this house, but Mia's pregnant. If we don't buy a house, her boyfriend won't marry her. I had no choice. My mom's voice grew softer and eventually I couldn't even hear what she said. Fine, sell it, I said. Everyone except my dad seemed excited. But you need to divorce my dad and sever your relationship with me. From now on, let Mia take care of you in your old age. I won't owe you anything. I looked directly at my mom, saying every word slowly and clearly. My mom's pupils dilated. What did you say? Didn't I make myself clear? I said, the 500,000 yuan for changing my university application has already bought your parental love. Since you don't plan to leave me anything, I have no obligation to support you. If you agree to this, I'll let my dad sign the house sale. I'm not sure if my mom couldn't bear to part with my dad or simply couldn't bring herself to sever ties with me, but in the end, she didn't agree to sell the house. Because she didn't sell the house and rejected Mia's request, Mia left with my aunt, not caring at all for the years of care my family had given her. After my dad was discharged from the hospital, I sent him home, but just as I was about to leave, my mom stopped me. Luna, stay for a meal. I'll make your favorite sweet and sour ribs. I paused for a moment, my back to her. I used to wish you would care about me like this, but you didn't. Now, I don't need it anymore. If you feel even the slightest bit guilty or want to make up for what you did, please leave me alone. Don't contact me again. I really don't want to see either of you. And I don't want your compensation. Behind me, I heard my mom crying loudly and my dad sighing. But I didn't stay a second longer.